You sit at your desk. The task you need to complete looms before you, a vast and uncharted mountain of effort. It feels huge and unconquerable. A tight, familiar knot forms in your chest. Your phone, just within reach, suddenly seems to glow. A siren call. You pick it up. You scroll through feeds that offer no real value, yet they feel infinitely safer than the task. Minutes bleed into hours. The day slips away. The work stays untouched. This is analysis paralysis. A slow, quiet freeze locks your intentions. You know what must be done, the steps may be written down, but the crucial first step remains untaken. You simply do not start. The work waits, patient and menacing, while anxiety grows. The feeling of being stuck becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The longer you wait, the more intimidating the task becomes, and the harder it is to consider beginning. This cycle can trap you for days, weeks, or even longer, eroding confidence. Big tasks look dangerous to the brain. It's wired to survive. Your mind, in protective mode, treats a complex project not as growth, but as a threat to your resources and well-being. To stop this debilitating freeze, you must first understand what your brain is actually doing in those moments of paralysis. Your brain is not a single unified entity. It is composed of different parts that sometimes have competing priorities. Some of these parts are designed to act incredibly fast, making split-second decisions to protect you from harm. One of the most important of these protective parts is the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's vigilant watchtower, constantly scanning your environment, internal, external, for signs of danger. When it detects a potential threat, it can sound a powerful instantaneous alarm. Neuroscientists call this an amygdala hijack. It's a biological alarm designed to save your life in extreme crisis. When the amygdala sounds its alarm, it triggers a flood of stress hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, preparing your body for fight or flight. Crucially, the alarm can cut off the signal to the prefrontal cortex. Complex planning, focused concentration, emotional regulation. When that connection is weakened, you can't think clearly about big tasks, difficult tasks, abstract tasks. Your capacity for reasoned action goes offline, replaced by a primal urge to escape. An amygdala hijack isn't only for life or death moments, like a car suddenly swerving into your lane. In modern life, it can be triggered by small psychological threats. A worry about failing can set it off. Not knowing where to start on a complex project can sound the alarm. Even looking at a long to-do list can feel overwhelming, and the amygdala treats it as a threat to your energy and resources. Once the alarm rings, your brain's priority flips to safety. At work, safety often looks like staying still, doing nothing, shifting to easy, familiar, non-threatening tasks. That's why you freeze. There's a simple, elegant countermeasure. The solution is not about summoning more willpower or forcing yourself to be tougher. That feels like fighting your biology. Instead, it's about timing, scale, a deep understanding of what your brain finds threatening. Start with an action that is so small, so quick, so non-intimidating that the amygdala doesn't flag it. The alarm stays silent. This is the principle behind the 2-minute rule, a way to coax your brain into action without triggering its defenses. The rule itself is beautifully and profoundly easy to understand and implement. You simply pick one small, concrete action related to your larger task, and you commit to doing it for only 2 minutes. That is the entire commitment, 120 seconds of focused effort. After that, you are free to stop. The duration is critical. 2 minutes is so short, so manageable, that it slips under the radar of your brain's threat detection system. When you tell yourself you only have to work for 2 minutes, your brain perceives the effort as safe, low cost, and achievable. The amygdala's alarm stays quiet. The rational thinking part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, stays online and in control. You remain capable of deliberate, focused action. Think about what 2 minutes of action can actually look like in practice. Opening a new blank document and typing a title. Writing a single sentence of that difficult email. Reading 1 page of the textbook. Saving the first file for your new project with a proper name. Sorting 5 emails into folders. Each of these actions is a victory. The primary goal is to begin, not to finish. The start is the single most important event. It's when you defeat inertia. The act of starting, no matter how small, is what matters most. It breaks the spell of paralysis. Once you initiate the action and prove it's not dangerous, momentum can take over. That tiny push creates a ripple effect that makes continuing far easier. The 2-minute rule is not a trick, it's a strategic tool that works with your brain, It addresses the physics of human action and motivation. Newton's first law: an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an external force. It's a perfect metaphor for productivity. Frozen in analysis paralysis, you are a body at rest. It takes activation energy to get moving. To make the 2-minute rule a reliable part of your life, follow this simple protocol. It's a clear, actionable tool designed to change how your brain sees a task. First, choose your next step with extreme precision. Pick one tiny physical action you can complete in 120 seconds. Don't say, "Work on the project." Instead, say, "Open my code editor and create a new file." Specificity leaves no room for hesitation. Second, remove barriers. Make the first move frictionless. Close unrelated browser tabs. Turn your phone face down. Create an unobstructed runway for your 2-minute sprint. Third, set a 2-minute timer. This is your contract with your brain. Watching the countdown creates low-stakes urgency. Fourth, begin immediately. As soon as the timer is set, execute that single tiny action. When the timer rings, you have a choice. Stop, and you've still won. You defeated inertia, but often, you'll want to continue. The hardest part is over. The true power of the rule is unlocked now, because you are no longer starting from a dead stop. You are an object in motion. If you continue, leverage that momentum. Reset the timer for another short burst. 5 minutes, then 10. This rhythm keeps the brain's fear response dormant. Finally, make your progress tangible. Keep a simple log. At the end of each session, write down what you accomplished, even if it's just wrote 3 sentences. These small, documented wins create a visible record of momentum that will encourage your next 2-minute session. The beauty of the 2-minute rule is its universal applicability. It's a versatile tool for overcoming resistance in any area of your life where you feel stuck. It works for dreaded chores, fitness routines, and creative pursuits. The principle is simple. Shrink the task to a 2-minute starting ritual. Want to start running? Your goal isn't to run a mile. It's to put on your shoes and get out the door for a 2-minute walk. For writing, don't write a chapter, just write the first sentence. For studying, don't master a chapter, just read the first paragraph. For exercise, don't do a full workout, just do 2 minutes of stretching. Each is a gateway to further action. Consistently apply these tiny starts, and the small gains begin to compound. A little motion, repeated daily, solidifies into a powerful habit. Your amygdala learns to associate the task not with threat, but with a small sense of accomplishment. As this happens, your prefrontal cortex regains authority. You'll think more clearly and feel less afraid. To make this even more effective, end each session by writing down the next tiny, 2-minute step. This acts as a bookmark for your brain, creating an easy re-entry point and setting your future self up for a win. The theory is behind you. The protocol is clear. The final and most crucial part is the simplest of all. Start now, not later, not after one more email, but in this very moment. Think of the one task you've been avoiding, now shrink it. What is the absolute smallest action you can take to begin? Identify it, set a timer for 120 seconds, take a breath, and begin. You may be surprised to find you don't want to stop when the timer chimes. That first small step often breaks the spell. Ride that wave of momentum. But if you do stop, that is a victory too. You have successfully beaten the freeze. More importantly, you have actively rewired your brain's response, replacing dread with agency. That is a win worth celebrating. How to apply the 2-minute rule. Ready? 2 minutes can start everything. Step 1. Choose one tiny physical action tied to your bigger task. Open the doc. Name the file. Write the title. Lay out notes. Step 2. Remove friction. Close extra tabs. Silence your phone. Place it face down, stash it away. Open the exact tool you'll use. Bring up the blank page or worksheet. Step 3. Set a 2-minute timer and begin immediately. Start. Don't think. Let the clock carry you. Step 4. When it rings, choose. Stop and log the win. Wrote one sentence. Mark a check. Or continue for 5 minutes. If you continue, reset the timer to 5 outs. Step 5. Pick your tiny action now. Set the timer.